will win the jackpot. To enter, go to local3news.com.
3 Degree Guarantee, presented by Warren and Griffin, your local 5-star law firm.
The Local 3 Storm Alert Team, accurate forecast for your day.
If you have lived in Chattanooga any length of time, actually many surrounding counties in the Chattanooga area as well, you know quite well the power of the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. But part of what makes them such a strong anchor here is that they're always looking for ways to reach out and help in other ways. So Kathy Martin joins us this morning. She's pretty new with the food bank, but not at all new to understanding that power. So she joins us this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you.
So the timing is good because, for one thing, part of what we're going to talk about is all the farmers out there in your backyard or a farm, how they can give back to the food bank this year in a pretty fun way.
Right.
But also an area of the food bank called the Foxwood Center that a few people, including me, know about.
And including me, I didn't know anything about this wonderful point of distribution for our neighbors in need until I started in January.
So let's start maybe with the farmers in the planting season, because everyone's itching to put their tomatoes in the ground.
Yes, they are.
So what y'all are encouraging, it's called Plant a Row.
Plant a Row. It's a little campaign that we are starting. And what we are doing is we are asking local farmers or area gardeners if they would consider planting an extra row of produce and donating it to the food bank.
Okay.
And then we're also reaching out to our local gardening community if they have extra produce this summer, which most of us do, or most of us know neighbors that have too many zucchini or more than enough tomatoes, if they will consider bringing that to the food bank and donating it.
Okay. So when you say plant a row, does not have to be a literal row.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not. But if you get a bumper crop this summer of okra or anything like that, we would love it if you would bring it to the food bank on Amnicola Highway.
What a fun plan for a family to do together with your children, to let them watch something grow and know that you're doing it for the purpose of giving back.
Correct. Many of our residents here in this area live in food deserts, so access to fresh produce is hard for them. So this is a wonderful way to help your neighbor.
You shared some numbers with me. 17 million pounds of food distributed last year, just last year.
Just in 1 year.
And of that, 4.5 million of it was produce.
Was produce. So most people, when you think of a food bank, you think of shelf-stable products, which is typically what we do. We pack boxes of emergency food assistance at our warehouse on Amnicola Highway. So those would be things like pasta, soups, proteins, things of that nature. What people have a hard time getting access to is fresh produce.
Right.
So that's why this program really helps out our neighbors in need.
Okay, so then here's where the Foxwood Center, is it Foxwood Distribution?
Foxwood Food Center.
Foxwood Food Center on Wilcox Boulevard. So that is one of the food deserts in town. But because you have this Foxwood Food Center, people can come there and really they can have a grocery store experience.
Right.
And y'all, what you're needing are volunteers to kind of shop along with them.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very simple. It's set up like a grocery store, and our neighbors in need call 211 through United Way to receive a food voucher, and they can come once every 30 days. And when they get there, they'll receive their box of emergency food assistance, but they will be greeted by one of our volunteers who will already have the food box on the grocery cart, along with, if we have produce available, it'll be a pre-packed box of produce. Last week I was there helping out, and every guest got a bag of frozen blueberries, which is wonderful, and also a frozen chicken. And then our guests help them go through this small grocery store. They can pick out extra produce if they want it, depending on what their family needs are. You may have a single person there that doesn't need a lot, or you may have a family coming in and they'd like to pick up some more fruit, things of that nature. We typically have a freezer that has additional meats in it that they can select from. They can select cereals, personal care products, bakery goods.
So could you use donated items for those things
Those
too?
are all donated items. We work with local grocery stores here in town, and as things get towards their end cap date, they donate those to the food bank.
Okay, so the fact that it's off of or on Wilcox Boulevard, if you don't live near Wilcox Boulevard, can you still come there if you have that
Yes, you
211
can come.
voucher?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the volunteers that you're needing, it's
Right.
to be the one kind of helping shop with these people because
You're acting as like a personal shopper.
Okay.
And you're interacting with our guests on a more one-to-one basis.
Okay.
And we typically take them through the store, and then we help them get their items into their car.
You know, I would think too, you mentioned the individual person versus the family. As you get older, depending on what you eat, it can really affect how you feel.
It
right?
definitely
so
can affect how you feel.
I would think that a relationship builds over time, and maybe you
Yes.
learn that if somebody, this is kind of indelicate, but if you have acid reflux, steer clear of the tomatoes. Is that right?
That is correct. That is correct. We even have food boxes prepared that we distribute at the Foxwood Food Center there for people that are diabetic. Some of our unhoused community, we have boxes there that can be distributed that are all pop-top things that don't require a can opener or things of that nature.
I don't mean to throw you out there in public, but you've been in Chattanooga a long time, raised your family here and everything, but you just began with the food bank in January.
Yes.
Have you been surprised, even Kathy, how much you are learning?
Yes, it's humbling. It's
Is it?
humbling. The first day I volunteered, my first day of employment, I went and volunteered at Foxwood that afternoon just to learn about it. Because like I said, I didn't even know about it. And here I was an employee of the food bank. I was still under the impression that people came to the warehouse when they needed help. And not only was I not aware of Foxwood Food Center, I wasn't aware that we actually cover 20 counties, 11 in Tennessee and 9 in Northwest Georgia. So it is quite an operation. I invite anyone to come by. We'd be happy to give a tour.
Yeah.
But my first day at Foxwood, I helped probably 6 guests, and I want to say 4 out of the 6 told me this was their first time to ever ask for food assistance.
Really?
So when we started Foxwood Food Center, we were anticipating about 1,500 guests a month. Currently, we're serving 3,000.
And you know, I think that's important to say that for 2/3 of those, it was their first time to
Yes.
ask for assistance. And I also think that that takes an awful lot of courage to ask.
It does. It does.
That is not an easy thing.
It is when you are asking for food. It usually means you're at your rope's end.
Right, which is part of, if you are considering volunteering, what she had said to me before the interview started was, we want to have people come and be treated with dignity.
With dignity.
So that's what
With
you're after.
dignity. And I will also add that, you know, for every hour of volunteering that we receive, it equates out to about groceries for about 78 meals.
And can teenagers volunteer?
So at Foxwood, they need to be 15 or older.
All right.
But younger than that can volunteer at our warehouse. We have many school groups that come into the warehouse.
So with summer coming around, that
Yes.
might be a nice thing
Yes.
for them to do.
Yes, it would be great.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
So the
Thank you.
chatfoodbank.org is still your central website
Yes.
to go to.
And they can go on there and volunteer, and we have like 3 shifts at Foxwood,
Okay.
2 shifts at the warehouse.
Okay.
So it's all there.
And if you will please consider planting an extra tomato plant and pepper
Yes.
plant, or a
Yes.
whole row if you have the space.
Yes.
And then you can just bring that when the crop is harvested, and they'll happily distribute it. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Showing how you feel. It's been a while. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile.
We offer a non-opioid, non-narcotic, and most importantly, non-addictive means of dealing with certain mood disorders and chronic pain disorders. At Scenic City Neurotherapy, we are invested in our patient outcomes. We're not here to treat you for the short term. We are committed to following you through to the end of your process. And that looks different for everybody. We are working to help you reclaim your quality of life.